Let's begin on the baseball diamond and take a look at baseball's all-star festivities. Our BronxNet cameras made the trip to Miami and captured both the home run derby and the all-star game. Defending champion Giancarlo Stanton was edged by Yankee catcher Gary Sanchez in the first round, but it was Sanchez's teammate, another Yankee slugger, that overcame Stanton's teammate en route to a big night in South Florida. Bronx Bomber rookie sensation Aaron Judge is the biggest thing in baseball, not just literally at 6'7", the tallest of the American League All-Stars in Miami, but also in his towering persona and home runs. All rise. Judge is the 2017 T-Mobile Home Run Derby champion.
Just having fun. If you're going out there and having fun, you get to soak it all in like their derby last night. I was just stepping out, I was looking at guys, I was just having fun, smiling, and just trying to enjoy it all. Even win or lose, you're just trying to go out there and have fun.
The Yankee slugger lived up to the hype, slamming nearly 4 miles of homers at Marlins Park, including 4 drives of more than 500 feet. Judge overcame 22 first-round blasts from Justin Bour of the Marlins and a dozen long balls from the Dodgers' Cody Bellinger in the second round.
It was sweet. It was loud. Yeah, like I said, when I was hitting, I didn't hear it. But, when Sano and Judge and Stan were hitting those balls, it got real loud, and especially Bour, fans were on their feet and they were excited.
Judge slammed 11 homers in the finals to defeat Miguel Sano of the Twins.
I lost my voice screaming for Gary and Judge. I thought it was a tremendous show those guys put up. I get to see it every day. I feel like he does it every time he hits BP, but that was fun. Everybody enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the, for me, that was probably one of the best days I've had here at an All-Star for my last 4 years.
Judge is the third player to win the Home Run Derby who held at least a share of the MLB lead in dingers at the break. He joined some elite company in Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr. and slugger Mark McGwire. He is also the 4th Yankee to win the award. Robinson Cano, Jason Giambi, and Tino Martinez were the other 3. Speaking of Robbie Cano, what do you know? Here's an insider look at the All-Star game. The 88th Midsummer Classic was a classic indeed. Seattle Mariners second baseman Robinson Cano hit the go-ahead home run in the 10th as the AL All-Stars edged the NL Stars 2-1 in 10 innings. Cano's long ball, the 4th extra inning blast in an All-Star game and the first in 50 years, led him to being named the game's most valuable player.
As a kid, you watch Griffey and all those guys that come to the All-Star game, winning MVP. You wanna get that feeling.
It was good to have a guy like that put such a great swing against a great pitcher and be able to do something.
America's pastime shined in Miami as an influx of young talent has taken the game by storm.
Honored to be here, very thankful to have the help and to be voted into this game. I'm happy to compete.
I've definitely looked back upon the struggle of last year and just all the hard work I put in the off season. It feels good for it to all kind of culminate here in the All-Star game, and what it tells me is just to keep working hard.
To be in the same clubhouse as all these guys is special to me. I'm blessed to be in this situation. There's a lot of good guys in this room, so I'm just happy to be here.
What an All-Star game it was. And closer to home, the Bronx Bombers came out of the All-Star break and went 2-2 last weekend in Boston, splitting a Sunday doubleheader before dropping 2 of 3 in Minnesota to kickstart the week. Clearly, the Yankees were in need of some reinforcements. That's where general manager Brian Cashman comes in. He made the first significant move before the trade deadline, acquiring Todd Frazier, David Robertson, and Tommy Kahnle. Robertson returns to the Bronx, a place where he was once deemed Mariano Rivera's heir apparent, while Kahnle joins Robertson in what is now a stacked bullpen for the Yankees. The Yanks dealt Tyler Clippard and prize prospects Blake Rutherford and Ian Clarkin in the deal. Frazier takes over at third base, while Chase Headley will now predominantly play first. Frazier, who has long been number 21, will stick with his new number 29. Paul O'Neill fans can relax. The number is still essentially unofficially retired by the Pinstripers. Yankee newcomer Clint Frazier has given up his number 30 and will wear number 77. Robertson gets his old 3-0 back. The Yanks took the first game of a 4-game series in Seattle last night, where Frazier got his first hit with his new club. The new Bombers and the Yanks will be back in the Bronx Tuesday for the start of a homestand. I've been saying all along that I expect Oakland starter Sonny Gray to be a Yankee, and I will stick with that. I also think first baseman Yonder Alonso could be part of that package, the Frazier acquisition notwithstanding. As for the Mets, they are 4-3 coming out of the All-Star break, including a thriller Thursday. Lucas Duda went deep, Wilmer Flores tied it with a pinch hit home run, and Jose Reyes hustled for a walk-off infield single in a 3-2 victory at Citi Field. The Mets welcome Oakland to the ballpark this weekend, which includes a very cool Noah Syndergaard Thor bobblehead on Saturday. Check out Mets.com for more info and tickets. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. Former NFL great O.J. Simpson was granted parole Thursday after more than 8 years in prison for a Las Vegas hotel heist, successfully making his case in a nationally televised hearing that reflected America's enduring fascination with the former football star. With the ruling, the 70-year-old Simpson, who was convicted in 2008 of an armed robbery involving 2 sports memorabilia dealers in a Las Vegas hotel room, could be out of prison as early as October 1st, serving the minimum 9 years of a 33-year sentence. The juice will be loose. Hide the wives, fellas. Locally in MLS action, NYCFC is gearing up for the Chicago Fire on Saturday, while the Red Bulls will face Minnesota. NYCFC is coming off a 2-2 tie with Toronto. The Red Bulls defeated San Jose 5-1 in their last outing. In the NBA, Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks are moving closer to parting ways. I still expected the Knicks to keep Melo this season and perhaps try and build his trade value up before the trade deadline midseason, but it looks like the Knicks will resume talks to make a move now. Melo has made it clear that he does not want to return. He would like to join Chris Paul in his new city, Houston, along with the NBA's highest paid man in James Harden. The Knicks weren't able to swing a deal with the Rockets recently before bringing in new GM Scott Perry, but now that Perry is in the fold, the Orange and Blue are back to exploring a deal for Melo. Portland has emerged as a contender, but Melo would have to lift his no trade and has also made it clear that he would like to go to either the Rockets or join LeBron James in Cleveland. Knicks point guard Derrick Rose could be joining the Cavs. Apparently, the two are in serious talks to make that happen. Rose could also return to Chicago, according to reports. His days in New York are likely done as well. Meanwhile, the Nets continue to remake their roster in Brooklyn, bringing in former Toronto small forward Damari Carroll. He's a nice add for the Nets. And NASCAR, the stock cars will invade the Indianapolis Motor Speedway this Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the Brickyard 400. IndyCar has the weekend off, but will resume the following weekend in Ohio. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list to pay tribute to the one and only Bob Wolf. This past week, we said goodbye to the legend himself, Bob Wolf. Wolf, the only sportscaster to call play-by-play of championships in all 4 major North American professional team sports, passed away peacefully at his home. He was 96 years old. Wolf, the broadcast of the NFL's championship game, World Series, NBA Finals, and Stanley Cup Finals. He interviewed Babe Ruth, was the voice of the Washington Senators, and for decades did play-by-play for the New York Knicks and New York Rangers. In his lifetime, he interviewed Ruth and Derek Jeter, showcasing his longevity and greatness, all while staying as humble as the guy next door. The Yankees released this statement: Bob Wolf's iconic Hall of Fame broadcasting career was matched by his class and character. Beyond his lifetime of professional accomplishments, he was a man of great grace and dignity, serving his country with honor and proudly calling New York home. Bob was a dear friend of the Yankees organization and will be deeply missed. Bob was a mentor to me, a dear friend and a friend of our program. He sat right here in this studio a few years ago with his wife Jane looking on. And as I mentioned, you never would have known that he called Don Lawson's perfect game or the 1958 NFL championship game dubbed the greatest game ever played. A baseball and basketball Hall of Famer, Wolf was just as much a teacher as he was a broadcast legend. He spent time after the show providing pointers for me and other interns here on the set. As much as the games will miss Wolf's interviews and calls, I know for a fact that the world will miss Wolf even more because people like him don't come along too often. He always made sure to go the extra mile and pay it forward. In my book, it's no surprise that he lent his voice to a perfect game or the greatest game ever played, because Bob Wolf was the best there ever was, on and off the field. Here's to you, Bob. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.